So I did my escape. I got to this position. It was perfect. You should have seen it. Okay? Like I said, I prefer the elbow over. That does not mean that the elbow under is wrong. By any means. If you're more comfortable here, a lot of people are more comfortable here, that's fine. Okay? I've got to make sure that when I am, though, my head stays forward. So if he starts reaching for my head with his hands, I need to have the neck strength, right, and the body position to fight. Because if I'm sitting up and he wraps his arms around my head, go ahead. Well, just S-grip your hands, 2 hands. Oh, yes. Now my neck's getting cranked on a lot. Right? Stop. Okay, so I've got to make sure my head stays forward, and if he starts trying to reach in front of it, I've got to be fighting it and ready to grab and look for that Kimura. Okay? Then upside here, once I get to my position, okay, if I'm going to attack from here, I'm going to start walking my hand as high as I can. Go ahead and pull your elbow down. Right? I'm blocking his elbow. I want my elbow connected to his elbow. Okay? I want to be as far out on that lever as I can. So as I start to pull back, go ahead and pull your elbow down. That's fine. Do it again. Right? And I just keep going a little bit farther. And once I get to that point where I feel his elbow start to turn and I can't pull back anymore, I'm going to start pulling it into my body. So now I've got him completely tied up with his shoulders. Right? His arms are up nice and high. Now I can take my time with mounting. Okay, my hand can be on his lat here. It can be posted out. Kind of depends what you like. Right now, when I look to mount, I'm going to take this pressure off of his arms, but I'm going to make it so that his only way, come around my head here. I'm not lifting myself up so he can get his elbow out. I'm making it so that he feels like the only way for him to get his arm out is to pull it towards my hips. Right. So as he pulls his arm towards my hips, my arm's going to come around his head and hook his neck. Right? Grab my bicep, bring my ear to his ear, grab the back of my head, and flex. Right? Modified head and arm choke. Okay? I can do it from mount. I can do it from whoop, here. Right? I can do it from half guard if I don't make it all the way. I can do the same thing. I can even do it from side control if I like that. That's probably my favorite. Right? But in all of them, I'm trying to get my ear to his ear just like I would if I was doing a normal head and arm choke. Right? Ear to ear, flat hips, and squeezing. I like it across because his arm ends up under my armpit and I'm hooking his head as opposed to trying to squeeze his head. He can't do this defense that way. As long as I keep their arm trapped above my shoulder and not under my body. Make sense? So that walk from that reverse scarf, that walk of getting his elbow out towards his head, once it's up to the point where I can't pull back anymore, I pull it into my body, hand on his lat, my hips are back. He's trapped in this type of position. Try to see that one. Yeah, just. He's gonna make me do the other side. Right? And it may take some patience, right? Because he doesn't want his arm up by his head. Unless he thinks that's his only way out, and I'm okay with that too. But if he knows that I'm trying to get up there, he's gonna keep pulling his arm back down. And the stronger the guy, the more times you're gonna have to do this. But how many pull-ups do you think they can do? Right? Because every time he pulls down, his lat's gonna get a little bit weaker, a little bit weaker. I'm controlling his legs the whole time, making sure his elbow's not getting in between our hips the whole time until I can get it up by his head. Right? Once I do, I'm gonna take my mount, bring that elbow around his head, keeping my chest down so he can't pull his arm out. Right? Forearm under his head, palm to palm, or bicep. I prefer bicep. I wanna make sure that I walk through until this elbow is on the ground. Right? If I start trying to drive here, I'm just gonna crush his head. Right? Any head and arm choke, I want to make sure my elbow's on the ground so it's underneath his neck. That gets my bicep on. He's almost poking me, yeah? And my bicep into his carotid on the other side. Right? Ear to ear, bicep, grab the back of my head. I roll my wrist over top of my bicep as I squeeze. Boom. Pull that through. If you want to go palm to palm, that's fine too. You can. It kind of depends on you. I just like the squeeze I get from the rear naked choker. And if you're not able to finish it there, you can start walking across and back into half guard or side control. I always feel like this is the most power I can get from it. Questions? Play with 1, 2, 3.